And here's now some more examples of African numerals, as you can tell. But what we want to do is we want to have fun.
Is that an ancient pyramid?
Yes, it is.
I know because the ancient pyramid is filled with mummies. Of course.
Okay, let's have some fun, Edward. I love your participation. Let's get in this thing and have some fun.
I have a question.
Oh, let me hear it.
Is that the House of 10 on the screen?
That sure is.
Okay.
That was an excellent question. That is a House of 10. And you need to understand that Africans brought incredible intelligence to the Americas. If you live in a city, or if you ever go to a historical city in the United States of America, you ever go to Philadelphia, Baltimore, New York City, Washington, D.C., any historical downtown area in the United States of America was built largely and majority in part by ancient, or just by Africans who descend from ancient Africans. And ancient Africans embodied the knowledge of how to build entire countries, not just cities, but entire countries. And that knowledge was brought here to the Americas. And when you go to these historical cities in America, I want you to look at what are called row houses. Row houses are houses that are put together right beside one another, where they have straight walls. So you see those support walls right there? Those support walls are supporting the structure, and then you put a Nubian arch on top of it, and that is what gives you the roof. Now, I've seen structures here in the United States that were built similar, but they weren't actually houses. They were actually water containments that were put underground. And maybe I'll show that to you all later. But what I want you to know is that the whole row house concept started in ancient Africa, where you have two columns, or you have two vertical walls that support a roof, and then houses are put adjacent to one another. So if you live in New York, if you live in Baltimore, if you live in Washington, D.C., you'll notice that when you come to a house, there'll be a sidewalk, and then there'll be stairs, and often to the side, you'll have what's called retaining walls. And these retaining walls were created and built as an architectural element by ancient Africans for thousands of years. And when those Africans left Africa and were dispersed throughout the world to make the world a better place, we took this ancient technology and this ancient knowledge with us. So every time you see a historical building, when you're going through a historical city anywhere in the United States of America, this is also true for London, this is also true for many places in Europe, understand that the architectural and engineering craftsmanship that created that technology began in Africa. You all have any paper and pencil in front of you?
Yes.
Excellent. So we're going to play a little game. Now we're going to have fun. I'm going to teach you how to use African numerals to solve simple math equations. We're going to start using African numerals today. All right, here we have 10 for houses of 10, and here we have citizens, which represent units. And these are citizens of this village. What we're going to do is we're going to use these images, and we're going to start doing basic addition equations. Let me see. The first equation that we're going to do today, we're going to take everybody off, and we're going to put an equation. Edward, do you have a suggestion for an equation?
6 + 1.
6 + 1. That sounds fun. Here we go. We're going to take 6. Quick count. 3 plus 3 is 6. And we're going to add what to it, Edward?
You made enough. That's 6.
That's 6. So now we need
Plus
to add 1. Okay, so what I want us to do is find a group of 5. So one of the first things we want to do is find our group of 5. So we see that we have 6, which is 5 plus 1. So now we have 5 plus 1. And you say add another 1. So now we have 5 plus 2.
And if you add another one, it's 5 plus 3.
Very good. Excellent. So 5 plus 2, let's find out. So we're going to take our pen and we're going to, you see right here we have the green area. What do? Is you take your pen and you join the green with the red. And you have your 1. Count for me, please, and go.
1, 2, 3.
Excellent. What is that?
4,
Excellent.
5,
Good job.
6,
Excellent.
7.
Very good. So what is 6 put together? This symbol right here means put together. What is 6 put together with 1?
It's 7.
Excellent. Good job. 7 is correct.
So everyone that's watching, as Baba Kenyatta draws the numbers and the African numerals on the screen, make sure you're doing the same on your paper.
Who else is on here besides Edward?
I'm on.
I want you to give me an equation, some type of equation in the chat, or you can say it out loud. Give me an equation that you would like to have us do with using African math.
5 plus 5.
5 plus 5. Okay. We're going to take 1 unit, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we're going to double that and add 5 plus 5. Now, whenever you get 5 plus 5, everybody can then move into a new house. And that would be a house of 10. So we're going to count this out for me. Everybody count with me, please. And let's go.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Very good. Now we have our 10. We're going to move everybody into a house. Okay, now we have 10. Let's see. What I'm going to do is we're going to add a 10. Now we're going to add to this 10. So we're going to count up to 10, 5. Okay, so we're going to start here. Everybody begin?
10,
Very good. What comes after 10?
10, 1,
Excellent.
10, 2, 10, 3, 10, 4, 10, 5.
Very good. Excellent. So now we have 10 plus 5 is the same as 10, 5. So now what we would do is we're going to use, so when you use African numerals, you have different methods you can use. You can use the stack method where you stack the numerals on top of each other. So we have 2 units stacked perfectly on top of each other. That's the stack method. Then you have the staggered method where you visually make the units and other place value look attractive by staggering it in the center of each other like you would bricks on a wall. Now, what I like about the stack method is you can always find out whether a number is even or odd. This number is, well, I want you all to tell me, is this number even or odd?
Even the odd.
Why is it odd?
Because 1 and 3 and 5 are odd numbers, and 7 and 9, and also 11, 13, and 15. Because 10, 12, and 14 are even numbers.
How do you know that?
We divided it.
Okay,
Because
excellent.
one villager doesn't have a friend.
There you go. So the way we do it in African math is whenever a number is even, it's simply even because each person has a friend. Two people who can hold hands with one another are friends. So you have two friends right here. He's a friend and this is his friend. Another friend comes and he wants to have a friend to be with, but he's odd because he's the odd one out. He doesn't have his friend to hold his hand. So then another friend comes along, and whenever you have two friends at the end, then that's even. So this would be even. If you have one person at the end, when you use the stack method, that's a visual way of you being able to instantly recognize that the value is odd. So when you use your African numerals, you can count 1, 2, 3.
4, 5.
Excellent. So then what's going to happen is now we can see that our answer is odd. We can see that it's 10, 5. So when you also use African numerals, it helps you to quick count. It helps you quickly see groups. The way you can see that this value is 10 plus 2 plus 2 plus 1, or you could say it's 10 plus 3 plus 2. Or you might recognize it as 10 plus 4 plus 1. There's different ways to see quantity. And African math and African numerals helps you see numbers in so many different ways because you can see your place value and you can see your units and how they engage with one another. The challenge is with Hindu Arabic numerals is they don't tend to help us out mathematically. I'm going to give you an example. What I want you to do now is I want you to draw your African numerals and try your best to solve it. So what I want you to do is use your African numerals to solve this equation. I want you to draw your African numerals. So what we're going to do first is we're going to build this 22. It's time to build some new houses. Let's get to work. So we're going to build the 10. And what does 2 10s equal? Can someone tell me what 2 10s mean?
20.
Very good. So that's just 20. That means 2 10s. Okay, so now we need to build this 2. So we're going to bring out 2 citizens. Did you know that girls, especially ancient African girls, were excellent builders? They were excellent builders and architects too. So we're going to bring out 2 young ladies. Okay, cool. That's our 22. Wait a minute. Now we have 4. How many houses do we need to build? How many more houses do we need to build? We built 2. Say again?
4.
How many more?
4.
Okay, 4. Let me count that out. Count for me. What is that?
1,
That's 1? Wait a minute. You sure about that?
10,
Excellent.
20,
Good job.
30.
Excellent.
40.
Very good. Excellent. What does 40 mean?
14. 410.
Excellent. Yes, it does. 40 means 4 10s. How many more villagers do we need? How many more people do we need to help come build these houses? We need some architects and engineers on this plant site. How many more do we need?
3 more.
3 more. Excellent. Let's bring in 3 more. I want you all to draw these at the same time. Make sure you're drawing them. Count for me.
1,
Excellent.
2,
Excellent. How many 10s do we have? How many 10s do we have?
16.
Excellent. And what does 16s mean? What does 6 10s mean in English? How would you say that in English?
16.
Excellent. How many units do we have?
5.
Excellent. So now let's say that all together. We have 6 10s and we have
5.
5 units. What is our answer?
65.
You all are brilliant. Anytime you have an equation where you need to solve a math equation or a challenge or a puzzle, we definitely encourage you to use African numerals. They're very helpful. And that way you won't have to rely solely on memorization to solve your math facts. Okay? Would you all like to play a game? Would you all like to play another game?